Over the weekend, a grand jury indicted actor Jussie Smollett on 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct.
Yeah, that's one for each lie that he told police during two separate interviews. Smollett told police he was attacked by two white men who yelled racial and homophobic slurs, poured bleach-like substance over him, and tied a noose around his neck.
Well, at CPD, they're saying it was all a scam to gain publicity because Smollett was upset over how much he was making on the show Empire.
Yeah, so here to talk about this indictment and what it means for the actor is our legal expert, Ashley Kirkwood of Mobil General Counsel. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about indictment. Does this mean he was guilty? What is it? Break down this term for people if they don't know.
Okay, so it does not mean he was guilty. Essentially, the grand jury is there to test the vigor of accusations before there are formal charges or indictments levied against a particular defendant. So it does not mean guilt or innocence, but it does mean that the prosecutors have presented enough that he can be formally charged.
So what will be the next steps? He'll come to court where the formal charges will be read, and then what happens?
So he'll probably, I don't know what he'll do. He can either plead guilty or not guilty. His lawyers, as of right now, are still maintaining his innocence. So I expect he'll plead not guilty, and then we'll move forward and have dates, and the trial and the pretrial schedules will be set.
Cool. And why 16 counts?
Well, like you mentioned a little bit earlier, what they've done at this stage is they've broken down the charges into each and every lie that he's told, which is an option that they have to do, and it kind of gives them a little bit of leeway to actually get a conviction on at least one of the charges.
Is that common to choose like one for every single lie, or are they making an example of him?
No, I mean, prosecutors have the discretion to do this, and it is common because think about it. They want to make sure that they have the best probability of actually getting a conviction, and this is a way to do it.
So they may not actually go for all 16 charges, but it's a good probability since they charge for so many.
Well, yes. So they have charged him with 16.
Yeah.
They'll go for 16.
Yeah.
It's not possible that the jury will agree that he should be charged or proven guilty of 16 counts.
Okay.
So do you think he's really going to end up seeing jail time for this? It just seems, I understand that lying to police officials, any officials, is a bad thing, but it just seems so trivial at this point, like that we're so focused on this when we have real criminals that we need to be focused on.
Well, here's the thing. Prosecutors try cases every single day of the week, right? So although it seems trivial to us because we're thinking of it in a really...
It's silly. It
yeah.
sounds silly if he is actually guilty of this.
In light of everything going on in the world, I totally see why it feels that way. But it is possible that if he moves forward and he does not take a plea deal, that he could really see jail time.
Right. And his defense is saying it's prosecutorial overkill. Is that really a thing?
I mean, one, that's not an official thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not official misconduct. But yeah, they have every right to feel that way, and they definitely are not taking it easy on him. And this was a deliberate choice to bring these 16 counts. They didn't have to do it, but they did. So I get where they're coming from, and it does seem like a lot.
Are you surprised by it?
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised by it. I'm surprised by it because of the gravity and what it could mean for him. I mean, a felony charge on your record is nothing to play with in any event, and he's an actor. So this could potentially derail his entire life because he made a mistake and lied. He should be punished if he did it because he's still, you know, presumed innocent.
Yeah, and he's still pleading not guilty.
He is. Or he hasn't done his official plea for these 16 counts, but his camp is still saying that he maintains his innocence. And if they're going to take him to court for it, then they better be ready to prove it because his lawyers are no joke.
Oh, my goodness. And it's just been so much evidence, overwhelming amount of evidence. One part of it is the Osundario brothers. They've been giving a lot of this information and telling police where to look, but we haven't heard too much about them since all of this has transpired with the latest. Could they face a penalty too, or would they be able to have a deal or a plea deal, or if they're helping out officials?
Well, it would be odd for them at this point to face penalties. It seems as though right now that they are acting as cooperating witnesses. And that was one of the questions that the superintendent answered during his press conference was why aren't they facing charges? And essentially he stated they're cooperating with us. The real person who orchestrated all of this is Jussie. It's clear that they want to go after one guy, and that's our Empire star, Jussie Smollett.
But they knew it was a lie when they were asking him to pay, allegedly, of course, when they were asked to pay to act this out. It seems like there's wrongdoing on their side as well.
The issue here is that Jussie is charged with making false statements to police.
Okay.
So when they were questioned, it appears as though they came clean. So that's the big divergence there, is that when they were questioned, they held out for a little bit, but eventually they came clean and they're cooperating with police. Could they have been charged at some point? Possibly. But right now, it seems like they're playing on the state's team.
Wow. Anything else you want to add about this case?
I hope that he's not lying still. I'm still holding on to that glimmer of hope, because I hate to see anyone go down for something like this. It just seems so like such a poor decision if he were to be lying.
Right.
But if it moves forward, I hope that the point of the justice system is to actually do something that could help him moving forward.
Yeah.
It's not only about punishment. Ideally, we want people to re-enter society and do some good.
Exactly.
Is jail going to help him at this point? Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Ashley Kirkwood, we appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
knowledge with us.
Yes, always a pleasure. Always
I'm sure
a pleasure.
We'll chat with you as this all evolves.
Definitely. I'll be ready.